Hello student, in previous video we have discussed about the introduction part and some of the types of crops according to season in that kharif crop and the rabi crop that we have discussed. Now in this video we will discuss about the approaches which enhance the crop yield. In that there is three approach: crop variety improvement, crop production improvement and crop protection improvement. First of all, we discuss about the crop variety improvement. How can we improve the variety in the crop? The factors by which the variety improvement can be done that are good and healthy seed. Because if the seed is healthy and good, then and then we get the good quality wise and the variety wise we can get the good crop. So how can we get a good and healthy seed according to desired characteristic, according to the variety of purpose? Then the first technique, that is of hybridization technique. Now what is hybridization? Hybridization, it is the process of crossing between two or more than two genetically dissimilar plant to produce a new variety with a good property of both the crop. What is a hybridization process? What happened in that? First of all, we have to choose two or more than two kinds of plants, and we choose the desired characteristic of that particular plant, and then that all the desired characteristic of that plant we have to hybrid with each other, and whatever the new plant that we get that have that all the character, and by which we can get the new variety of that plant. So if the process of crossing between two or more genetically dissimilar plant to produce a new variety with good properties of the both the crop. Now let's discuss about the property to be proposed by the improved seed. Now properties to be processed by improved seed. If we are improved the seed by the hybridization or by the gene manipulation technique, then which kind of properties that crops have, that we have to discuss. The first one, that is higher yield. To increase the productivity of the crop per acre, that's called the higher yield. The second one, that is improved the quality. The quality of the products vary from the crop to crop. The third property, that biotic and the abiotic resistant. The improved seed must have the capacity of the biotic and abiotic resistivity, means the crop production reduced due to the biotic and abiotic factors. Varieties resistant to this factor can improve crop production. The fourth one, that the wider adaptability. The crop which can grow in different conditions will help in the setting high production. The next one, that is a desired agronomic traits. The crops which contain desired agronomic traits. Desired agronomic traits means whatever the characteristic that we introduce, that we desire, that we want in next crop production, that calls the desired agronomic traits. For example, height, branching, leaf, etc. that set high production. So these all are the properties of the good, or you can say the improved seed. The first one, that is higher yield. Higher yield, that means to increase the productivity of the crop per acre. The second one, that is improve the quality, means the quality of crop product vary from crop to crop. The third one, that is biotic and abiotic resistance, means the crop production reduced due to the biotic and abiotic factor. For example, biotic factor, that means uh, due to the insect, due to the any disease which is caused by the living organism, so that comes under to a biotic. And the second one, that is of abiotic factors. Abiotic factors means due to the atmospheric change. So whatever the changes occur, that factor should not affect on the seed. Means seed must have that resistivity power to resist a biotic and the abiotic factor. The varieties resistant to this factor can improve the crop production. The next, that is of wider adaptability, that is also connect with this point, because if the crops which can grow in different condition and that that have adoption power is more to survive in any condition, whether it is a summer or winter, so that will help in the setting a high production. So the wider adaptability means the crop which can grow in different condition will help in setting high production. The next one, that desire agronomic traits. Agronomic traits means desired characteristic containing traits, means the crop which contains desired agronomic traits like a height, branching and the leaf that set a high production. So these all are the characteristic of the hybrid, or you can say the improved seed. So this comes under to a crop variety improvement. In that the hybridization technique is there and the properties to be possessed by the improved seed. The next one, that is crop production improvement, means how can we improve the crop production, the total amount of output of the crop. So it involves a different practice carried out by the farmer to achieve the highest standard of the crop production. So which kind of practice should be must be followed by the farmer, then we can get the crop production improvement. So there are three practice. The first one, that the nutrient management, means plants and the any crops, they require nutrition for the growth. So first of all we manage, we first of all we arrange the a nutrient in such a way that all round the development is occur in the plant, they can growth properly. So that part is comes under to a nutrient management. The second part, that is of irrigation, means the watering of the plants, the proper amount of water plant get or not, that comes under to a irrigation part. And the third one, that is of cropping pattern. In that we can do the crop rotation and the arrangement of the crop pattern such a way that all the crops can get a maximum nutrient. So these three practice should be followed by the farmers to achieve a good crop production. Let's see the first one, that the nutrient management. The like other organism, the plant also requires some elements for the growth, and these elements is known as a nutrient. Let's talk about the nutrient. The first one, that is air, that is from the air the plant is require carbon and the oxygen. In that the carbon dioxide and the oxygen, because as we know that during the photosynthesis the plants require carbon dioxide, water and the sunlight, then and then they can prepare the food and they can growth well. And the another one, that is of oxygen, that is for the respiration. The second source, that is water, and in water they get the nutrient hydrogen and the oxygen. And the from soil it require there is two kinds of nutrient according to required amount, macronutrient and the micronutrients. Macronutrients means it require in measure amount more amount than the micronutrients, so that is considered as a macronutrients. So in the macronutrients the element nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium and the sulfur is required, and it is requiring more amount, that's why it is known as a macronutrient. And these all the nutrients plants can get from the soil. The second one, that is of micronutrient. Micro means in a small amount, a nutrient which is required in very less quantity or a small amount, then it is known as a micronutrient. And the element of micronutrient is iron, manganese, boron, zinc, copper, molybdenum, chlorine, that comes under to a micronutrient. And these all the micronutrients crop can get from the soil. The next part, that is of manure and the fertilizer. It is also a part of nutrient because the plant get the nutrient from the manure and the fertilizer. Then and then the soil is enriched with the nutrient. So let's talk about the manure. To increase the yield, the soil can be enriched by the supplying the nutrients in the form of manure and the fertilizer. Now, what is the difference between the manure and fertilizer? The manure is the source of organic matter, or you can say it is not a synthesized material, it is naturally, or you can say it is a household waste, cow dung, like that. So that comes under to a manure, natural sources. Manure is a source of organic matter and it supplies small quantity of nutrient to the soil, and it is prepared by the decomposition of animal excreta and the plant waste like a cow dung and the weeds and all. So it is prepared by the decomposition of animal and excreta and plant waste. Now let's talk about the various kind of manure. The first one, that is compost manure. The compost manure, the process in which the animal excreta like a cow dung and the kitchen waste, or you can say the domestic waste, plants remains, waste food, savage waste, etc. They are decomposed in a peat like structure, and that is known as a composting. The another, you can add that the waste product of the biogas, or you can say the remedy of the biogas, that is also comes under to a composting. The second one, that is vermicompost. The compost prepared by the using a earthworm to hasten the process of decomposition of plant and animals. Its refuse is called the vermicompost. Vermicompost, this manure is prepared by the earthworms. The compost prepared by using earthworms to hasten the process of decomposition of the plants and the animals, that refuse is called the vermicompost. The third kind of is a green manure. The some plants like a sunham, gore, etc. are grown, and they, after some time, mulched by the plugging in the field, that comes under to a green manure, and this green plant turns into a green manure, and they all are rich with the nitrogen and the phosphorus element. This kind of soil is required for the cultivation of dicot family, means you can say leguminous family, pulses cultivation. The next topic, that is of fertilization, that we will discuss in next lecture. Thank you.